Welcome to a special holiday version of Walt Disney World Clicks. I'm Kevin, and we're getting started in Disney's Hollywood Studios. We're at the Premier Theater. This is the former Hunchback Theater, waiting in line for, as you can see, the showtimes in the background, the Comedy Warehouse Holiday Special. Now, this is, of course, once from Comedy Warehouse itself over in Pleasure Island, and now they bring it over to Hollywood Studios just during this busy week between Christmas and New Year's. And so they use this theater and give it a bit of an overlay, do some Christmas decorations, and then bring out the improv troupe, and they perform the usual skits of making stuff up on the spot based on audience suggestions. It's a fun time, and I'm glad that they bring it back every year. Now, around the corner where they used to do the Comedy Warehouse holiday skits at Hollywood Studios is the Drew Carey Sounds Dangerous building, which has now been lost its labeling. It doesn't have any name on it. They were showing some Disney holiday movies, as you can see, just kind of Mickey Mouse type skits throughout the day. At the Osborne Lights, I've seen this previously. I've just never really taken a close-up picture, not only of the hidden Mickey here, but this name tag. When we zoom in on the name tag, you see that it's in reference to Dan, Dan being the one Dan who created the way to get the lights to dance year by year at the Osborne Lights. Now, for New Year's, they had a special sign set up here where they were kind of echoing the sign in the background and the sign in the foreground so that more people could see the announcements on the lead up to fireworks. While we're here, let's take in the Backlot Tour. I don't know how long this has been here as opposed to the prop that was here previously, probably some time, and not on this ride every single week. An equivalent kind of question mark in my mind is how long we've had these three-dimensional facades here on the side of this is the costume building, and you can see the water battle tank over here on the side, as opposed to just regular posters, because that was my memory of this area last time. The planes have plane's eyes on them near the Earful Tower in the background. That matches what you see happening to Walt Disney's plane around the corner near Lights, Motors, Action. This is in reference to the movie Planes. Boneyard's looking a little dry. I'm not sure where all of the props are going to there. Now, this is Disney's Animal Kingdom. We've switched parks, and this is the main walkway around Discovery Island. This is the otter exhibit, still closed off behind these walls here. But this zone right here is newly reconstructed, and they brought it back. I think they've added a new planter here on the side. This is the exit to the Tiger Walk, where this prop struck me as at least being cleared away. It may even be completely new. I just took a picture of it because it was new to me, at least. And then the Chakranadi Adventure Rafting sign has been there all along, I think. You can see we're still near the Jungle Trek. But it is in reference to the Chakranadi Chicken Shop, which was once an existing shop here, an eatery around the corner from here, that has since been replaced by Yak and Yeti. So there's a little bit of hidden history for you there. At Downtown Disney, we've had a look around the other side. Now we're looking at the entrance from Lot P and Lot Q, where you can see the Christmas decorations turned up. And they've now taken down the construction wall, which is in front of the House of Blues here, and so this new railing is there. They've cut off access to this corner of Downtown Disney in the west side, next to the bowling lanes, because as you can see, they are building the walls. They are building the interior walls, I should say, of the parking structure, which is going up. You can see the internal construction of the pylons going on over that wall now. Over at D Street, this is the ghost set for the, this is the ghost set for Tower of Terror. I was hesitating there because there's also an inverted version of these Vinylmations that have all blue colors because those are the ghosts as opposed to just being in black and white. Speaking of ghosts, the other set out this week was the Haunted Mansion Vinylmations. And you can see these are the stretching portrait characters done as Mickey Mouse Vinylmations. This is the former home of Captain Jack's Restaurant and Marina, and you can see that they've taken almost all of it away. In front of World of Disney, there are construction walls going up with a sign telling us what's coming in here next. It will be another Starbucks coffee. So the Cinderella statue will be right in front of it, and Starbucks will be kind of nestled in between two of the wings of the World of Disney building. Step inside World of Disney for the Magic Mirror. It's located back here behind Belle in this corner of the shop, and you can see people taking pictures of it, interacting with their kids. What it is that your child stands in front of it and is superimposed over all of these pictures of costumes, and then they show you the summary screen where you can snap a picture of your child dressed up as different kinds of princesses, completely free. Now, while we're here, we'll take in what the logo for 2014 looks like, that they're putting on lots of different kinds of merchandise. And this is the fan-created logo for 2014. I should say the fan-voted logo for 2014. They created a few as part of Limited Time Magic last year and let the fans choose which one will win. Although, going backwards, as you can see, that's not the one they're selling on all of their merchandise. It's just the one they're selling on some of the Limited Time Magic merchandise. Switching parks over to the Magic Kingdom, this is the resort monorail actually, taking a picture of a newly built floating bridge, I guess. It's not obvious entirely what it is they're using with this bridge for, but it appears to be docked in this area near the Grand Floridian. The Stitch Fast Pass area was under construction last we looked, and now it has been converted to Fast Pass Plus kiosks. This planter was, this area was formerly home to a planter right in front of Casey's Corner. Now it is a flat surface. It was always a bit of a bottleneck before, so it's probably better that they did remove that planter. And they tried something for the holiday season at Tortuga Tavern. They turned it into fast food in the daytime and then in the evening an all-you-can-eat buffet. And so you can see some of the items that were included, meatballs, baked mahi, braised beef, and so forth for all you care to eat. $45 includes your tax and 18% gratuity. So the restaurant is walled off otherwise. You can't get access unless you go in through that one entrance. Then they have the tables set up with servers who would come bring your food to you then. Now, we are here also at the Stitch stage to take in the Incredibles dance party, Super Dance Party. Now, you'll see some Christmas decorations still up. That's because they also did the Christmas shows at some parts of the day, but this is the new permanent, at least semi-permanent dance party taking place in Tomorrowland. And you can see that the Incredibles characters come out and lead you around Congo lines or dance with you. Obviously, there's someone there spinning tunes out of a Mac. Frozone gets up on stage and leads a couple of dances. It's good fun for the kids. Now, we were here on the 30th, and there were signs up for Happy New Year. This is near the Country Bear Jamboree, which, as you will see, has its own new sign. It's been recently redone. Looks fresh, and I don't think these signs were here before, or maybe I'm just remembering them wrong because they look so fresh now. This is what they look like as repainted or at least newly planted signs. Since it was the busy holiday season, the Diamond Horseshoe was open, and as you see, they're advertising only a dinner evening for until 8 p.m., and this is what the decorations look like inside. And this one is counter service. It's not all you can eat, and so you can have a $12 turkey plate just for this particular holiday week. I think it might have only been right between Christmas and New Year's. And this is what some of the crowds look like on that day in the 30th. This is Adventureland, and this is what Frontierland looked like. Now, this is taken with a zoom lens looking a little bit of distance away, so it's a little deceptive in that sense. But it was absolutely very packed in the parks on those days. So if you're visiting from out of town, it may sound like an ideal time to visit Disney World, but thousands of your closest friends and neighbors think the same thing. We're switching over to Epcot, where, as you can see, the entrance to Innoventions has now been converted again. It was previously things like the Kim Possible game and Kid Cot and so forth, and now it's been converted for My Disney Experience. Still more kiosks where you can make reservations and so on. At the Universe of Energy, I haven't even noticed this in some time. Didn't there used to be like a topiary of some dinosaurs over here, like a T-Rex, I seem to remember, maybe something else like a Triceratops. I don't know how long that's been gone, but it caught my eye since I was there this past week. Over at Mission Space Exit, the Mission roster. Now, this used to be just a way where you could see people playing the game to the side here, the Mission Space Race game, or you could play from home, was what their original concept was. And now they've turned it into just kind of an advertisement, at least at the moment, of some inspirational quotes about space coming from some former astronauts and politicians talking about how important space is to our future. Presumably these screens will then someday be used as well for My Disney Experience type interaction stuff. We are looking at Mouse Gear here, the entrance to Mouse Gear. You see the sliding glass doors, and we're here looking at a very specific thing, this device over the top of the door. And take a closer look at it, also a little bit blurry, apologies. This little disc device here is actually measuring, we think, our RFID bands. So as you come in wearing your Magic Band, it knows when you walked in the store. It'll know when you leave the store. We saw these things also at all the entrances and exits to Innoventions. So it gives them an ability to track how long people hang out in these particular venues, which will then hopefully let them choose better things to put into these places. Now we're looking at Innoventions on the side with the Land and Sea pavilions. This is the former Velcro exhibit. It's now used for AAA story time, AAA vacations. And what I wanted to point out here was this little feature over at the top of that second building. It's actually a Velcro remnant. So the Velcro exhibit hasn't been there in some time, but there's still a little bit of theming there about Velcro. Switching to the Land Pavilion, you see this display of gingerbread houses in the second floor of the Land. And as you look closer, you'll start to recognize familiar landmarks. So not only the castle, but Big Thunder, and then you've got Italy and France, like its World Showcase, because you've got the Spaceship Earth geodesic dome over there, DCL Cruise Line ship, and this is perhaps the Animal Kingdom Lodge. And then on a second table, you've got another castle, and you've got a wall that could be the Great Wall of China. A little harder to figure out what that one is. And then some ones that are holding ribbons. Now these are cast created, I believe, gingerbread houses, and so they have little prizes for most creative or best gingerbread house and so forth. And they just put the display out there for all guests to see. Now on the ride itself in the Land Pavilion, this is Living with the Land, we ran into this little snowman, I guess perhaps a sandman, in the middle topiary, in the first topiary, really just there to wish people happy holidays. And then further along in the same ride, in these tubes, which usually hold a hidden Mickey or two, you see a hidden Christmas tree out of those mesh things. And that was an interesting touch, and probably not something people see a whole lot of. Haven't seen this before, a pest alert sign at all of the entrances to the sand. So the cast members and the visiting guests, I guess, have to wear something over their shoes so that they don't bring pests in. Now in that final building of the topiary, you see these devices which are rotating around a brand new constructed track. This track wasn't here previously. It was under reconstruction. And around the corner from there, the fish tank is under renovation, it now says. So previously that was all just kind of closed off. Looks like they're about to restart operations there. This is the Croissant Donut. You may know it by the better brand name of Cronut, which Disney can't use because that's a brand name, that they are now selling at Refreshment Port, that once sold McDonald's French fries near the Canada Pavilion. And so this is an almost $5 donut you're looking at here. However, it looks and tastes a lot like a churro on the outside and rather doughy and quite filling on the inside. So it is perhaps as much material as you would get out of 2 or 3 churros, but only for $5. In the France Pavilion, I don't recall seeing these ornaments before, so perhaps they are new for this year's holiday celebration, and perhaps we'll see them in future years as well. There's been some movement finally at the Spice Road table in Morocco. There's a view of it from the outside, and then as we come around to the front, you'll see that the sign is visible. You take a closer look at that in a minute. And some of the walls are down, showing some familiar signs. This is what the signage used to say in the area previously. So they're obviously intending to bring some of those things back after they reopen the new building. So it's not only going to be the restaurant inside. And there's that close-up of the restaurant itself, Mediterranean small plates, it says below. So tapas-style eating. Now we're switching out of the Disney parks and over to Universal. This is an upcoming Mexican restaurant with an unusual color scheme, I guess you could say, over in City Walk. And we're here mostly to take a look at the construction happening next to Islands of Adventure. And as you can see, this building in the background is gotten quite a lot of detail. They've got another building going up in the foreground here. Both of them are going to be for the Harry Potter expansion. This is where you would go from Hogsmeade on this side over to Hogsmeade and Hogwarts over on this side over to Diagon Alley, which will be over at the Universal Orlando Park. And so this will be the train station from the Hogsmeade area. And then this was new to me. They've got these Coca-Cola machines set up in one corner of Seuss Landing, which is fine as far as that goes because you can order the drinks around the corner and you know, get your drinks over on the side here. And of course, it's in the style where you can customize the drink with your own syrups and so forth. But what it also means is that you have the ability to get ice and water all by yourself without ever needing to ask anyone. I did try without any special cup or receipt or anything, just walking over and turning on both the ice and the cold water, and they both work. So this is an unlimited source of fresh ice and water at the Universal Orlando parks. Now, this will call a little kiosk setup here is between the parks, actually next to Islands of Adventure, and was new to me since the last time I'd been over here. And switching over into Universal itself, in the Simpsons area, this police car had a different color scheme before. I kind of think it was black rather than white. I'm not sure why they made that change. Now, we had a chance to head over to Fun Spot America, where this roller coaster you see in the foreground, and of course the Lady Liberty, are new since my last visit. So I'm going to take you around some of the expansion of Fun Spot. This is the one next to International Drive. All of the buildings we're seeing here are new to me. They weren't there the last time. They've really doubled the size of this park. And as you can see, they're selling individual attraction tickets or, an all-day pass for $40. And actually, until July 4th or July 5th, you can get an annual pass to both Fun Spot parks for $89 per adult. And so this is the general overlay. This is what Fun Spot used to look like. It was about that big. And all of this zone here, they've more than doubled it, actually, if you look at it, is new in their more recent expansion. And as you can see, it's expansive. They've left a lot of room lying around underneath the roller coasters and so forth. And here the inverted coaster Freedom Flyer is a fun one, where your legs are kind of dangling over you. And we're going over to the White Lightning, that's the wooden roller coaster entrance over here. And so you can see that it boards over in the far corner. And this is just a fantastic wooden roller coaster. Obviously the only one in Central Florida, well, probably the only one in this part of Central Florida anyway, in Orlando. They've got some over in Tampa, and it's just it's dynamite. It's not rough in the least. It's got interesting and exciting dynamics, I would say. Lots of positive and negative G-forces. Rip Curl is this carnival ride, and the Enterprise is the ride over on the right. I'll have another look at that in a second. Looking across the water, you see other flat rides, carnival-type rides. There's the Enterprise, which lifts up and turns you almost upside down as you spin around and around, getting dizzy just looking at it, aren't you? And there's the closer-up of Rip Curl there. And then the restrooms area, I thought this was cute, almost Legoland-like, actually, the way they've got the characters needing to go to the bathroom with their knees. And then over to the Sky Diner, which is your fast food facility in this part of Fun Spot. Another carnival-type setup, a ropes course for little kids. And then finally, this roller coaster for little kids as well at Fun Spot America. Now onto our game. Where in Walt Disney World was this? When last I left you, this was the clue. I'll go ahead and give you the answer now. It was not in Mission Space, as many of you suggested. It was actually at the American Adventure Pavilion. So this was the little museum exhibit right next to American Adventure. It is now taken up by the Kinsey exhibit, showing the history of African Americans and slavery in the United States, some of the artifacts there. This was formerly more about the American treasures, I guess you could say, and it would showcase things from throughout American history, little artifacts and icons and so forth. There's a little piece of moon rock, I think, actually, and this was one of the displays having to do with space. So the next one, where in Walt Disney World was this, is your challenge. Go ahead and leave your comments in the area below, and we'll see you next week if you guys are right. Thanks as always for paying attention and for watching. It's great to be back in the new year, and we'll see you back next week.